Endgame didn't end the war. It ended certainty. The Avengers believed returning the Infinity Stones fixed everything. But Loki shows us the truth: timelines don't vanish instantly. They exist long enough to matter. Long enough to leave scars. That's why the MCU now feels haunting. Destroyed cities reappear, but feel wrong. Characters sense déjà vu they can't explain. Events that never happened still echo emotionally. Wakanda is the first place that notices. Because vibranium doesn't just store energy, it remembers interaction. When T'Challa dies, Wakanda doesn't collapse. It prepares, because continuity isn't breaking loudly. It's misaligning quietly. And misaligned realities always search for correction. Reality doesn't panic. It adapts. This is where mutants enter the story. Marvel never shows the birth of the X gene. They reveal it like it's always been there. Because it has. Time manipulation accelerates evolution. When physics becomes unreliable, biology compensates. Mutants aren't chosen. They are triggered. That's why the X-Men don't arrive as beginners. They arrive divided, feared, already politicized. They are aftereffects of Endgame, the immune system of a universe under stress. But adaptation alone isn't enough. Because survival without understanding leads to extinction. That's why the Fantastic Four appear out of place. Not new. Not old. Just disconnected. Their experiments belong to an era before the multiverse had rules. Before the TVA. Before incursions were feared. They are living proof of what the universe was. Before it started correcting itself. And wherever early cosmic experimentation exists, Victor Von Doom is never far. Because Doom doesn't chase power. He studies mistakes, and the biggest mistake the MCU ever made was assuming time travel had no cost. As reality shifts, memory becomes the battlefield. Wakanda doesn't upload knowledge. It preserves it. Tradition. Ritual. Unaltered records. While other civilizations innovate forward, Wakanda safeguards backward. That's why it stands firm while the world destabilizes. Because when timelines blur, the past becomes the only anchor. Wakanda isn't defending land anymore. It's defending truth. Thor feels it before anyone else. In Love and Thunder, gods die easily. Belief fades. Faith becomes optional. This isn't comedy, it's the universe losing its narrative backbone. Myth only works when reality is stable. When cause leads to effect. When stories have weight. But in a fractured multiverse, belief collapses. Thor isn't weaker. The world simply doesn't need gods anymore. And when meaning disappears, something colder replaces it. Tony Stark snaps believing he's ending a war. But Tony Stark has never solved problems emotionally. He solves them systemically. Look closely at that moment. He doesn't shout. He doesn't pray. He doesn't even hesitate. His eyes move. Calculating. Because unlike Thanos, Tony doesn't wish with the stones. He interfaces with them. The nanotech doesn't just hold the Infinity Stones. It translates them. Space. Time. Reality. Power. Mind. Soul. All flowing through a suit designed to solve impossible problems. In that instant, Tony doesn't think, kill Thanos. He thinks, end this scenario permanently, and the stones respond. But erase what the Avengers never understand, the stones don't just erase matter. They rewrite probability. Tony's body fails because it cannot contain that rewrite. But the logic behind the snap doesn't die with him. Because logic isn't biological. It's informational. Fragments of Tony's decision propagate across the multiverse. In damaged timelines, in universes where the snap echoes imperfectly, in realities where survival required less emotion and more order. That's why post-endgame worlds feel colder. Why technology accelerates unnaturally fast. Why choices start narrowing instead of expanding. Tony Stark didn't come back as a man. He came back as a principle. The idea that heroism without limits breaks reality. And somewhere in the multiverse, that idea stops asking how to save everyone, and starts asking, who should be allowed to exist at all? That idea doesn't call itself Iron Man. It calls itself Doom. Dr. Doom doesn't arrive during chaos. He arrives after it. He sees what the Avengers refuse to admit: time can be edited. Timelines can be chosen. Reality can be curated. Doom understands that infinite choice is not freedom, it's decay. Where Reed Richards studies possibility, Doom enforces limitation. Not because he is cruel. Because he is practical. Steve Rogers was never meant to stay. By choosing Peggy, he proved something dangerous, that one person can select the best version of reality and live inside it. Once that rule exists, it cannot be undone. Dr. Doom doesn't hate the Avengers. He is their conclusion. Because when heroes prove reality can be rewritten, someone will decide it should be finalized. One timeline. One truth. And this time, no going back.